straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, Imane Khelif let the boxing do all the talking during the Olympics, and now she wants to give it back to all who abused her online. She's filed a legal complaint amounting to harassment against many. Top of the list are ex-owner Elon Musk and author J.K. Rowling. The Saudi Pro League is making moves once again. They have now approached top young football star Vinicius Jr. What does the package entail, and is Vinicius considering this move? And it's great to win an Olympic medal and get all the accolades when you're returning home, though. But what are some of the weird incentives that the winners are receiving, and how much will they be taxed for the cash awards? We compare countries and get you a report. But first, let's look at the headlines. Starting with football, Lionel Messi less Inter Miami have been knocked out of the League's Cup. Their title defense came to an end after a 2-3 loss to Columbus Crew in the round of 16. Diego Rossi's brace helped Columbus Crew enter the quarterfinals. Over in cricket, England captain Ben Stokes will miss the rest of the English summer due to a left hamstring tear. He injured himself while batting for Northern Superchargers in England's domestic league, the 100. The injury rules him out of the upcoming 3-match test series against Sri Lanka. He hopes to return for England's tour to Pakistan in October. News from the Olympics. British shooter Amber Rutter wants the international governing body to apologise after she settled for silver in women's skeet event. Rutter was judged to have missed a shot, but TV replays showed that she had clipped the target. The Brit wants the use of video assistant referees in competitions to avoid any such mistakes. A decision on Vinicius' appeal against her Paris 2024 Olympics disqualification has been delayed for the third time by the Court of Arbitration for Sport, or the CAS. Vinicius seeking a shared silver medal after her disqualification for being 100 grams overweight. The verdict is expected to come on August 16th now. And in shocking developments from the NFL, Cleveland Browns rookie Mike Hall Jr. has been arrested and charged with domestic violence. In the report, a woman who is believed to be Hall's girlfriend has accused the player of throwing her belongings, dragging her through the porch, and pointing a gun at her. Police said they found evidences and have seized 2 guns. And the biggest transfer in the football market this year has been the groundbreaking signing up of French forward Kylian Mbappe. But this offer that we are hearing of is quite something, and it involves another Real Madrid player. Saudi Public Investment Fund, or the PIF, has now approached Brazil forward Vinicius Jr. Reports suggest Vinicius has been offered a crazy sum of money. Let's give you the numbers first, shall we? Saudi PIF is set to have offered Vinicius a whopping 1 billion euros, which is around 1.1 billion US dollars. The PIF wants Vinicius to sign a 5-year deal, which means the Brazilian is set to take home 200 million euros or 220 million US dollars a year. Now, if he agrees to this, and of course, there will be bonuses over and above. And we all know how the system in Saudi works. It isn't just the money that they offer on paper to lure top players from around the world. It's the whole package. A lucrative offer is up for grabs, which for Vinicius is a separate 10-year contract to also become an ambassador for the 2034 World Cup, a football World Cup that is scheduled to be held in Saudi Arabia at that point. And to put it in simple terms, they have offered Vinicius just about everything except taking over the reins from Mohammed bin Salman. And the shocking bit that we are hearing from reports, Vinicius is considering the move. Now, I understand the lure of it all. Big money, being the face of a World Cup sounds very exciting, especially for a 24-year-old. You see a footballer like Cristiano Ronaldo practically ruling that space after moving to Saudi Pro League, reaping the benefits and the rewards of moving out of the European League. So in your head, it all looks very exciting and promising. And then, of course, there is the racism that Vinicius has had to endure during his time in Spain. And suddenly, the offer from Saudi feels like the perfect out. An escape to better times, and one where you are being paid for every second of your time. The racial abuses that Vinicius has had to face has indeed been daunting. We've seen him break down in front of the media, we've seen him cry hoarse, and still continue even as there doesn't seem to be too many changes to the order. The cycle has persisted for a while now. Vinicius is abused, Vinicius endures, and Vinicius performs. All this in fact heightened over the last 4 months. So even as Vinicius was accumulating trophies, he had another battle to fight outside the pitch in Spain. But is this good enough reason for the young star to make the move to Saudi now? Because the truth is, Vinicius is still 24, a footballer very much in his prime with so much ahead of him. Sure, Spain has been cruel to him, but the Brazilian is loved by Real Madrid, a regular starter at one of the most decorated clubs in the world, a club that just won the Champions League. And it happens to be Vinicius' second with the club. And even if Vinicius wants to go away from Spain, is a move from Europe justified at such a crucial juncture in his career? He's at a place and a point in time that players dream to be at the cusp of something greater and bigger to come. Vinicius, of course, comes behind stars who have been approached by Saudi already, a streak that Cristiano Ronaldo kick-started when he joined Al Nassr in 2023. Then we saw, of course, Karim Benzema, Neymar, and even Sadio Mane crossing over. But here's the thing, these players made that transition at a time when they felt they had achieved all they wanted to or could in Europe. Footballers who came in with plenty of reputation, players who had accomplished a lot in the top flight by playing with the best in Europe. So a move was justified for these athletes, kind of like a second innings for all of these players who made the move. But Saudi for years now has vowed to transform into a sporting hub. They do not want to be someone's second choice. They want to be the powerhouse. They want the best when they are the best in the world. So they need the current set of stars. Sure, Ronaldo's move paved way for marquee stars right after that, but they need the youngsters who can make the league one of the best in the world. So before Vinicius, they even approached Kylian Mbappe. They offered similar numbers to Mbappe, and offer Mbappe refused, because the move away from Europe didn't quite add up in his timeline. But maybe Vinicius is ready to take that gamble, a gamble that will have its own hurdles and its own repercussions. Madrid has its own set of Avengers in the team, key personnel who will be ahead of Vinicius in game time, like Mbappe and Jude Bellingham. Though Vinicius still is a part of the core, a core Madrid formed thinking about the future, with Vinicius' contract lasting until 2027. Now, I know Real Madrid will do everything they can to stop the Brazilian, so even if the reports do suggest that Vinicius is contemplating this move, the ball really is in Madrid's court. And it's all up to them now, and that pretty much will result in how this will play out in the weeks and months to follow. Now, the biggest, most controversial topic emerging from the Olympics this year was the one inviting two boxers, Algeria's Imane Khelif and Taiwan's Ling Yu-ting. These two boxers had been caught in the middle of a gender row. Khalif and Yu-ting had come under the spotlight for being allowed to participate in the boxing events at Paris, despite having failed gender eligibility test last year. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, when this row erupted, both boxers are women, but many voices all over the world did not wait to grasp the complexities of this or understand the matter before spewing hate. And when Khalif's opponent Angela Carini pulled out of her bout less than a minute into the fight, taking a barrage of punches, the issue snowballed and Khalif was massively trolled. But it isn't Khalif now who's caught in the middle of the storm, but the people who trolled her online. And not just the keyboard warriors with no identity, the faceless trolls who unleash hate and cruelty, but some prominent names too who are now being pulled into this for their own misdoings. Social media platform X owner Elon Musk and author J.K. Rowling have been named in a criminal complaint that Imane Khelif has now filed, stating cyber harassment. Now, J.K. Rowling, who's a connoisseur of words, an author who had posted a long paragraph about the whole issue when the bout took place, said this.
Could any picture sum up our new men's rights movement better? The smirk of a male who knows he's protected by a misogynist sporting establishment enjoying the distress of a woman he's just punched in the head, and whose life's ambition he's just shattered.
And speaking of Elon Musk, it was just one word that has now put him on the list. Yes, the word absolutely. But the point here isn't the number of words they said or how many sentences they used. It's about what they said. When Karini pulled out and was left in tears, many started trolling Khalif. While everyone cared about Karini's mental health, nobody even thought about the impact it would have on Khalif. And while it is tough to put down faceless trolls, it's the public figures who have the additional responsibility. They are the ones who shape opinions. J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk called Khalif a man. And we of course know that statement is factually incorrect. Algeria recognizes Khalif as a woman born with a rare abnormality of an XY chromosome, as I explained earlier, which enhances the level of testosterone in her body, but she isn't a man.
As for whether I qualify or not, whether I am a woman or not, I have made many statements in the media. I am fully qualified to take part in this competition. I am a woman like any other woman. I was born a woman, I lived a woman. I competed as a woman. There's no doubt about that.
The question about her failure to pass the gender test, of course, still exists. It's the rules, and it depends on the federation whether to allow participation or not. The now disbarred International Boxing Association, or the IBA, had their own criteria back then, which Khalif didn't qualify for. So she wasn't allowed to participate. But Khalif qualified on all the parameters of the International Olympic Committee. So clearly, Khalif and Lin Yuting deserved their places at the Paris Games. And despite the online barrage of abuses, the duo kept quiet and performed right through the tournament. Both Khalif and Yuting went on to win gold medals in their respective categories. Clearly a fitting reply to all the abuses and criticisms that came their way. And while Yuting continues to be silent, it was the Algerian who's hit back now after clinching gold.
The attacks that I heard in social media were extremely bad, and they are meaningless and they impact the dignity of the people. As for the IBA, since 2018, I have been boxing under their umbrella. They know me very well. They hate me and I don't know why. I send them a single message. With this gold medal, my dignity, my honor is above everything else.
Very powerful words, and she followed that up with some action outside the ring too, filing a legal complaint over online harassment. The boxer has taken up a new fight for justice, dignity and honor. And while J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk are two of the names on the list, some additions might follow, because these aren't the only two celebrities who bashed Khalif. Another solemn reminder to public figures in particular, every story has two sides to it, and it's best to see both before jumping the gun. Now, it's a great time to be an Olympian, particularly a medal winner, and especially if you are Indian. Now, there may not be too many medal-winning Indians compared to a lot of the other countries in the world, but there are some benefits that Indian athletes are enjoying that other countries, like the hosts, French, aren't. Our next report is on what is the price an athlete has to pay for winning a medal. How does it differ in the various countries, and which nations dole out the most rewards for their Olympic medalists? You will be very surprised. Take a look.
If you won a medal at the Olympics, you are the center of attention for a while to come. Accolades are pouring in. But more than that, there's a lot of awards, rewards and very interesting bonuses and incentives that these medal winners receive from various quarters. Let's first look at countries all over the world and which of them provide the biggest cash rewards to their medal winners. The two countries that top this list are Hong Kong and Singapore. Hong Kong gives their gold medal winners more than $750,000. In fact, they increased the cash rewards by 20% after the Tokyo Olympics. Singapore comes a close second, offering $745,000 for the gold winners. Joseph Schooling, the only Singaporean athlete to win the top cash bonus, did that at the Rio Olympics in 2016 by beating Michael Phelps in the pool. Israel bumped up their cash reward by 50% after the Tokyo Games. Malaysia, Indonesia and Kazakhstan are just as competitive. In addition to monetary awards, some countries get a little creative. If you're a medal winner hailing from Kazakhstan, you'll be gifted posh apartments. Malaysia's Youth and Sports Minister promised foreign-made cars for the podium finishers. South Korea has taken it a step further. Apart from the cash incentives of $43,000 for the gold medalist, some of them get free drinks and transportation for life. Then there are the absolutely left-field rewards and gifts, completely out of syllabus. In Malaysia, a local chain offered free food and teh tarik, a local milk tea, free for life. Japanese table tennis player Kasumi Ishikawa was gifted 100 bags of rice for winning silver in Tokyo. And the Indonesian badminton gold medalist were gifted 5 cows, a meatball restaurant and a house. But what about the tax on these awards and cash prizes? Well, here's the kicker. French athletes, for example, are heavily taxed for the cash awards they are gifted. They are awarded 80,000 euros for gold, 40,000 for silver and 20,000 for bronze. And this amount will be taxed by the government, leaving the French athletes rather miffed. And what about India? Quite a few medalists have been receiving awards and rewards from the government and other authorities as well. And guess what? The rewards Indian medalists receive from the government are tax-free. For example, Manu Bhaker, who was rewarded 30 lakh rupees, and Sarabjot Singh a little over 20 lakh rupees under the Youth and Sports Affairs scheme, won't have to pay tax. The Indian hockey team's cash rewards from the Punjab and Odisha government will also be tax-free. And since medals are not categorized as jewelry, they are not taxed either. Guess it's good to be a medal-winning Indian athlete, isn't it?
Time for Last Serve. Olympic medalists are coming home to grand receptions. Taiwan went a step further. They didn't even wait for their athletes to land. They welcomed them home with fighter escorts. Take a look. Lin Yuting front and center there. But that wraps up First Sports edition here today. I'll see you again tomorrow with a lot of fresh stories and perspectives from the world of sports. Till then, of course, take care. Bye-bye.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree. One tree for humanity. One tree for Mother Earth. One tree for a future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
We go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost America. I'm Aaron Ham, coming to you live from the nation's capital in Washington, D.C.